Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and today I am just sitting on my couch. You've got the living room behind us here and it's a bit of a mess, so I apologize, but I also know that pretty much everyone else's living room probably looks like this, with clothes everywhere and cups and bowls and whatever. And I also have Dixie on the couch with me, so she's asleep right now, but she may make an appearance. Just letting you know, she is my shadow. So yes, but today's video, I just wanted to share a little bit about last week. I wound up getting kind of sick last week, and I shared a little bit on my Instagram page. I can't remember if I shared on YouTube or not, but I wanted to share a little bit more in depth of what was going on and some interesting comments that I got on social media because of it. But yes, let's get into it. Something I have come to realize over the years of Crohn's disease is that sometimes I will not have a clear, concise answer as to why I'm experiencing certain symptoms. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's very clear, but then in other cases, I will, have pain, I will have nausea, I will throw up, I will whatever, and I will never get an answer as to why. So last Tuesday, I started to feel a little bit off the latter half of the day. I started to notice a little bit of nausea creeping in. I noticed that I was just absolutely not hungry, and I really hadn't eaten a whole lot that day anyway. So by the time that Zach got home, he had dinner. I think I made him something, or he made something for himself, and I didn't have any of it. I was like, nope, I'm good. I didn't eat anything because I knew that I felt a little off. It wasn't severe or anything. I think I took a little bit of Zofran, but I was just nauseated. It was like that low-grade nausea that hangs around sometimes, and 99% of the time, nothing happens from it, and I move on with my day, and I'm fine. So, that's what I assumed it was. Sometimes I get nauseated, and I don't know why. I went to bed, and was very rudely awoken at 5 a.m. to severe nausea. And so usually when I don't feel good and I know I'm not going to be able to sleep, Zach is a very light sleeper. I am not a light sleeper. I could probably sleep through a tornado and wouldn't wake up till my bed's spinning up in the air. But I woke up and I decided, because I feel quite sick right now, I'm going to grab my pillow and grab my blanket and my heating pad and all my things and go downstairs. I did not have a lot of time to do that, I'll tell you, because I wound up, by the time I got to the bottom of the stairs, ran to the bathroom over there and started retching into the sink. And I've mentioned before, I am the loudest throw-upper in town, okay? I am surprised I didn't wake neighbors with my retching, or Zach. But I don't know. I didn't throw up anything, thankfully, because there was nothing to throw up, but it was just that awful, gagging. I hate it. But after it happened, I felt better, and I was able to come over to the couch, get myself comfortable. I had Dixie with me, and it's kind of funny. She will normally, leave me if I come downstairs. She will leave me to go back upstairs and sleep on our guest bed. She did not do this. She remained at my feet. I think she knew I wasn't feeling well. But I woke up 2 hours later and again felt sick. I had actually grabbed myself some electrolytes, water and electrolytes, because I was a little bit worried if I'm going to throw up once, it's probably not the last time. Let me try to rehydrate while I can. So after I threw up at 5, I drank water to try and, get ahead. And that's what I threw up at 7 a.m. And I have my trusty throw up bowl here / popcorn bowl. So that's what I threw up into. So at least I could remain comfortable here. It's very frustrating. So that time I actually threw up something of consistency. And, I took Zofran. I want to say that Zofran's super helpful. It's just not with me. I don't know if it's, I use it more often than the average person. It gets to that point, Zofran just doesn't do a whole lot. But I took it anyway. It's all I have. It didn't do anything, put it that way, because again, woke up at 9 a.m. and I started to gag a little bit. And at that point, Zach was awake, so he heard it and he came downstairs. He's like, "Are you all right?" I'm good, just over here retching. And I gotta say, I was a little worried because he was getting ready to leave for the day. I always get a little worried when I throw up like that because I'm thinking, is this going to be a very sudden decline in how I'm doing, and then I'm going to need to go to the hospital or something like that? Thankfully, that was not the case. It mellowed out quite a bit after he left, but I always have that concern. And I think the last time that I got nauseated, thankfully didn't retch, didn't throw up or anything, was around 11 a.m., and I will tell you, I feel silly sharing this with you guys. Typically, when I am very ill, I don't think to pick up a camera or set up my phone. But by 11 a.m., I was starting to feel better. I had a couple minutes where I thought, I might throw up again. So I just set up my camera so that way I could share with you guys if I wound up making a video to talk about it. So that's what this clip is. And I didn't film for very long because I was like, I just feel very blah. And once the, gagginess subsided, I was laying down on the couch to go back to sleep. So that's the only clip I got that day. And that's what I looked like pretty much until I think I showered at maybe 5 p.m. or something like that, or that night. I can't remember. So yeah, that was Wednesday. And it was one of those things where I was like, I don't know why the heck this is happening. I wasn't experiencing any other symptoms other than throwing up. I didn't have any abdominal pain. This was not like my abdominal pain and throwing up issues that I had last year. Those were very severe. This just felt like, oh, well, let me just throw up real quick and then I'll be over it for a couple hours, and then I'll throw up again and I'll be over it for a couple hours. Super weird. Didn't feel like a stomach bug or the virus that's going around, because typically when I get that kind of stuff, it's severe. It comes on quick and it's violent and I don't stop throwing up. I got some nice breaks in which I could nap in between. But yeah, I didn't think it was anything that I ate. I didn't feel like I had a cold or anything like that that would be causing this. Very strange. And so when I shared on social media, I shared a little reel after I wound up getting IV fluids the next day. Very conveniently timed, thank goodness. They helped a lot. But I shared a little reel in my car afterwards where I said, oh, I had some nausea yesterday. Thankfully I have fluids today. And of course, I got a few comments of people saying, oh, well, you're pregnant. No, unfortunately, that is not the case. Wish it was, but I think at this point, it's pretty obvious to me that without intervention, that is not happening. And I'm just not at a point to be intervened, I guess, and go back to the fertility clinic and go through some potentially painful procedures. I'm just not there. But yes, I got comments saying, oh, well, you're pregnant. I think my period last week would tell me otherwise, but it was not that. Yeah, so it's so interesting, though, that it bugs me. It does bug me, but at some point I have to just, get over it. So that I won't know why I was sick. I don't know why I threw up. And I just have to move forward and hope it doesn't happen again. And fortunately, I actually have a follow-up visit with my new GI on St. Patty's Day. So I will be going to that appointment and just letting him know what happened. I let the nurses at the IV fluid clinic know what had happened, that I had felt sick and didn't seem to have any other symptoms, and that the fluids were probably going to be very helpful because obviously I couldn't drink a ton when I'm throwing it back up. And I did feel better after them and the symptoms subsided, so I'll let him know. One thing I'm going to ask about is if he would be willing to prescribe me Phenergan or promethazine. It can be used inappropriately, so patients have to be careful with that. and some people use it inappropriately, but I never have. It's kind of funny. I always feel like I have to defend myself when I haven't given a reason to defend myself about it. Because I've always been very responsible with like pain medications and anti-nausea medications and all that stuff. I don't like to use them often, but they are certainly helpful when you're trying to sleep and you are woken up to nausea like that, and then you're woken up every couple hours to throw up. So that would have been a perfect instance to use it, because it wasn't like my body was trying to get something out that it could get out. I wasn't actually throwing up anything useful to make me feel better. So that would have been a case, or it would have been very nice to have, but I didn't have it. And so I tried using Zofran and it just didn't do anything. Like, maybe it helped a little bit, but I was still throwing up. And it's helpful in the instances where I worry about, you know, how much am I going to throw up? Am I going to be able to keep fluids down because I can't get too dehydrated? So, that was the frustrating thing. But thankfully, by the weekend, I felt a lot better. I felt back to myself. We actually hung out with our friend Kevin, who had another friend who's in a band that was playing at this restaurant in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So we went to see them on Saturday night, and that was a lot of fun. And we didn't even remember that there was the time change that night. So by the time we got home fairly late, and we did a lot of walking around Bethlehem. So I was like totally out of it Sunday, but we got home very late, and by the time we got into bed, it was like 1:50. And of course, you know, 10 minutes later, it's 3 a.m. because of the time change. So I slept till 10 a.m. I think the next day, and, you know, woke up for a bit, did some stuff, and then took a nap on my chair for a few hours. So that was this weekend, and it was good. And I, other than just feeling, you know, kind of tired because we did all that walking and we're out late, you know, I feel okay. So it's so interesting how that happens. But I know I'm not the only one. Sometimes you just don't get an explanation as to why you feel terrible sometimes. So I thought I would share that with you and tell you about last week's experience throwing up, and some of the interesting comments I got on it. Oh, you're pregnant. No. If only. But yeah, that's my update for you guys. And thank you so much for checking in on me after I posted that on Instagram. Thankfully, I had Dixie here, and I had Zach to help take care of me. And, you know, he was getting me stuff when I wasn't feeling good. It was actually funny because I was asked to do a little bit of a video for a company that talked about Zach's and my relationship and ways that he supports me, and I had to postpone the delivery of that because I was sick and Zach was taking care of me. So it was honestly perfect timing, but yeah, kind of funny. Anyways, guys, I hope that your Monday is going well. It'll be Monday evening by the time I get this up, but hopefully your week's starting off strong and you're looking forward to Friday, St. Patty's Day. Hopefully you have something fun planned, and yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next. Bye, guys.